Hey guys, me and Matt are here to review the
Greatest
Insidious,
film of all time, Ryan's favourite 10 out of 10 film.
the best movie ever. Not.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Insidious. What's the
Into the Further, I think it's
Into
called.
the Further. That's it. Yeah. We're gonna have different opinions on this movie. Yeah, this wasn't for me. He enjoyed it or he hated it. But yeah, so yeah, it was. I've seen a few of these before, but I think this is the weakest one I've seen. Even you said it's probably the weakest out of all of them, even though you enjoyed it. Well, you said you enjoyed a few of them
The
more.
first one was my favourite, but I didn't say this was any weak.
Well, you did say the few of them you enjoyed more than this one.
Yeah, the first one's the best one, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was shit. But anyway, we're
There's
getting
no
to it.
different words into the mouth.
We're getting to it. But you talk about what it was about then. Then
So
we'll judge it out of 10.
this one is based after the Red Door one, a few years after the climax.
And there was one called The Lost Key, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think that's one of them I've seen.
So if you want me to do it in the right biological order,
Seeing that's put me off seeing the other ones, to be honest.
so bear with me. So if you want to watch them in biological order, which I think would make sense, you start with Insidious Chapter 3, then you start off, and then you carry on with Insidious The Last Key, then Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious The Red Door, and then the newest one, of course, the best one of them all. Ryan just said it as well. Insidious Out of the Further. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Yeah, so
So this is basically the climax of this one is the lead actress Gemma has this rare gift of bringing the demons, the spirits from the further back into the real world. And there's this big bad who wants Gemma's ability, her daughter's ability, and they almost got that way, and it was torment and fear and stuff like that. There's a lot of jump scares, which was really fun, and the main goal was to bring the dead back to the living, and Gemma had the ability to do that.
while I went into this, there was barely any killings in this movie.
It's not really about that. It's not killing's not really in
To me,
style.
a good horror movie is you see people die, so yeah, there's one of the reasons why. And I'm not the biggest supernatural horror fan. I'm more into serial killer movies or cat and mouse movies, or or torture movies, like The Saws. I love all the Saws. They're brilliant movies, I think.
I like them. They're not my favourite genre, but I like them.
The first three were brilliant, I thought. One of the greatest horrors.
I can't even remember the third.
One of the greatest horrors ever, I thought. But anyway, yeah, I'm more into them kind of movies. These supernatural, weird movies, they're not really my favourite. A few what I can think of, like the Paranormal Activity movies, they're alright. What other supernatural movies? Evil Dead, that's not too bad.
Ouija board films.
That's alright, but still I'd take a serial killer slasher movie any day of the week. It's just more my preference. And I just couldn't...
is Scream. That's one of my favourites.
That's one of your favourites, isn't it? I like it, but I think there's a few more I like. Like Saw and some other ones. A few other ones. But yeah, I just was bored watching this, to be honest. I couldn't get into it. To me, nothing was happening for a long time, and I just wasn't into it. I was bored as fuck. It's one of the worst movies I've seen all year, and I just couldn't get into it. Halfway through, I put my headphones on, and when that happens, it means I'm just not into it. And I was listening to a podcast while watching that and falling asleep to it because it was that boring. Yeah, and I just couldn't get into it. There weren't enough killings for me, and it just wasn't for me. I didn't care for it, and yeah, I was bored as fuck. I was really bored. I couldn't wait until it ended. And not just that, I am dealing with a lot of pain at the minute because I had a fall. And when I sit down for too long, it hurts where I fell. So I am dealing with a lot of pain at the moment. As you can tell, the last few times I've gone cinema, I'm in a lot of pain. So that don't help, but to be honest, I just want to lie on my bed and sleep.
You should go to the doctor.
Yeah, I think I might if I keep getting the pains where it is, because I'm in a lot of pain. But yeah, I just couldn't get into this. It just weren't my kind of movie at all. And like I said before, I'm not a massive fan of supernatural movies. I'm more into the old 80s kind of Friday the 13th, Halloween's, Scream, Saws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I Knew What You Did Last Summer. The first one was really good.
That was alright.
Yeah. The first one was really good. The one with
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that movie was alright. It weren't my favourite franchise.
Yeah, the first one was good. The newer one was pretty good as well. The new one.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
It weren't my favourite one.
It seems I enjoyed them more than you, but yeah, they're good movies. But
They weren't too bad.
yeah. Well, I think they're good. I didn't say you have to agree, like we're done on this. But I just, I was really bored. He enjoyed it. I thought it was crap. So you talk about the ending, then we rate it out of 10.
Well, instead of just talking about the ending, because it's actually a pretty interesting film, and
very boring movie.
No,
but that's just my opinion.
So
that's just my opinion.
You've had your review. So I actually thought it was an interesting turn of events of how to bring the dead back to life, and it's not one of those films that you need death into it. It's not one of those movies that required it. So
that's what makes a good horror movie.
Not always.
Most of the time.
Because the Insidious was very famous for not a lot of people dying through it. So, and to be honest, I didn't hate that. I don't hate that process. That it shows that not everyone has to die just because it's a horror movie. So I actually thought Gemma's character was really cool. The legendary character of Elise was really cool to bring back. New characters to introduce. The further being different. The way they made her was going to put a screwdriver in her teeth. The weird old man with extra teeth in him. Had some weird moments when through a corridor then looks like these people were chasing her. I think you went toilet for that bit. Actually was a pretty good will they get her, won't they get her, will she win, won't she win sort of thing. So I actually thought this was a really sort of a cat and mouse between the spirits trying to get into the real world and the real world trying to save themselves, learning about the truth, what happened to her mum, because in the beginning that you thought the mum was crazy, she wasn't. She was fighting off the demon to save her daughter. So there was so much that happened in this movie. There's so much to reveal in this movie. So honestly, it may not have been the best Insidious. The first one will always be the best, but this was by far one of the weakest. This was actually a really entertaining film.
I think I've seen Lost Key and another one, and I enjoyed them more than this one.
I would say the Insidious 1 and Insidious Chapter 2 are the best ones, but there isn't and maybe the Chapter 3 is probably the weakest of the lot.
What one's that one?
That's in right
I think
time.
the only ones I've seen is this, the Lost Key, and I think it might have been the Next Door. Is it the Red Door?
Yeah, the Red Door. So
I think they're the only ones I've seen.
Chapter 3 was probably one of the weakest ones. It's still a decent film, but it was probably the weakest. So if I did a ranking of them later on, and maybe I'll do it on my YouTube, which I think is the best Insidious films, maybe that's something people could stay tuned for, but because I can't think of them right now. This film was actually really enjoyable and I actually liked it.
Okay. Well, I thought Obsession was way better than this.
Oh, Obsession was easily better. That was probably the best
100%.
horror movie of 2026.
Yeah.
No, I think it came out last year, I can't remember.
Well, I thought that The Housemaid was as good as that. The
I don't think Housemaid was a horror.
That was more like a suspense thriller, wasn't it?
So I don't count that.
Yeah. But as a movie, if you compare them,
I can't.
No. I mean, if you compare what movie, like, they're both one of the best movies of this last year. They both was in cinema for a long time, weren't they?
They're still doing well now.
Even Obsession, even last week I seen, was still out.
It's still out. It's still doing big numbers.
Yeah, it's a good movie, yeah.
And now the actress who played Nikki is playing Rogue in the new upcoming X-Men movies, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have different opinions on this, but each to your own. Everyone has
their favourite genres and stuff.
Everyone has different opinions, and everyone has different tastes, and just this weren't for me. He enjoyed it. I didn't get into it, and
one bit made you jump, which was good. So that is one positive thing.
I wouldn't say it was positive. It
made you jump, and that's the reaction that they wanted.
It was a bit surprising, yeah.
That's what they wanted.
Because what made me jump was she was standing somewhere, and then
it was her mum that.
The ghost face came straight out of nowhere, and it did make me jump a bit.
So they win on that one for you then?
I wouldn't say they won, it just made me jump a bit. But yeah, that's 2 hours I'll never get back. Yeah, I was that bored I was falling asleep to this.
Well, it's not like the first time.
Yeah, but I was really bored that I'd rather sleep than watch that. And yeah, no, like I said, I'll put on the podcast. That's what I do when I'm at the movies. If there's a shit movie, instead of just watching it, I'll just put something else on as a distraction from like the shit I'm watching. But yeah, this sucks in my opinion, and I wouldn't recommend it.
I would.
Yeah, he would. I definitely wouldn't. So I'd rate it out of 10 first, than you.
This is gonna be entertaining.
I'm gonna give this a 0 out of 10. I thought this was as bad as any movie I've seen in years. This was as bad as the Charlie XCX movie. I was as bored in this movie as that movie. This was as bad as that wrestling movie we watched where they were backyard wrestlers. I'd rather watch that than this.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I would. But yeah, this was not good. But I think also I am a bit tired, but I just think some of these like supernatural weird movies they're not my favourite horror movies. You know what I mean? I'm more into the ones I said. You know what I mean?
Maybe that will be the last supernatural one. Do you think?
No, I like a few, like Evil Dead. We seen the other one the other month. That was decent.
Yeah, that was good.
You know, there's some
people like hate the CGI to that.
There's some I'm alright with. The Paranormal Activities were alright. Ouija, that was good.
I didn't connect to the Paranormal Activity. I like the Ouija ones.
Yeah, it did not scare me, but it made me think I wouldn't want that to happen in my house, like kind of thing. Yeah, I know someone who won't watch them because it scares him in case it happens to him at his house. He won't watch them movies. But yeah, 0 out of 10. One of the worst movies I've personally seen all year. And yeah, I was bored as fuck. So yeah, he's gonna have a way higher score than me. So what would you give this out of 10 then?
First, I would recommend it because I actually think it's a really enjoyable film, and I'll give it a solid 6 out of 10. It's not going to be one of my top 10.
9, I'd say an 8 to a 10 is like one of the greatest ever.
And
if you rate a movie out of that,
well,
so he didn't think it was great.
I actually did. I think it was great.
If you thought it was great, you'd give it an 8 out. You'd give it 8 plus.
To me, 6, 7 is actually
6 ain't great in my opinion.
That's to me is a
that's
very
all right. I think that's good at best.
6 to 7 to me is a pretty.
I'd say 7's good.
No,
8's really good. 9's great.
1 to 5.
10 is like one of the greatest movies ever.
1 to 5 to me is like meh. 6 to 10 is you're enjoying it. 10 is you've absolutely loved it.
7 to 10 is like really good to brilliant, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess we've got different things for that, but
he does score higher ratings than me for most movies. I'd say I am harder to please with movies. He's harder to please with wrestling these days.
But yeah,
But-
between 6 and a 7 sounds really fair.
You'd give it a 6.5 then.
Yeah,
If you say
and-
between 6 to a 7.
Yeah, it's a really good film. I really recommend it. And
We'll agree to disagree.
I would actually encourage people to go and check it out, because you never know if you're going to enjoy it unless you try it yourself.
If you're not into like supernatural movies, like I'm not the biggest fan of them, then pass on it. In my opinion.
But if you want
But
to
each
try
to your own.
it,
Yeah, if you want to try it to see if you agree with me or agree with him, then yeah, give it a go.
because you're never going to know unless you try it.
No, you're true. That is true. But yeah, I just went into this. But he really enjoyed it. I didn't. I think he could tell when I got my headphones out. I was just. I tuned out. So yeah, the next movie I'm going to see is the Star Trek Voyage Home. There's an advertisement of it there, the 40th anniversary. So I'll be reviewing that. I don't know what movie me and him are gonna go see together. The next one. Not too sure.
Well,
I don't know what's out the next few months.
I've got a couple of films that I'm going to be seeing.
Well, you're going to see Harry Potter, aren't you, Frodo?
So, first I've got the 25th anniversary of Philosopher's Stone, which is pretty cool. Then, on the 1st, I'm going to see the 25th anniversary of The Fast and Furious. The 7th, I'm going to see Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the 35th anniversary, which is crazy. And then Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on the 8th. So, I've got a lot of
like a
films.
new movie, they're anniversary movies. I don't know what new movie the next one I'm going to watch. I don't know what's out in September. But
Let's take a look.
But anyway, Friday is going to be coming around and he's going to try his first time at mine chicken boaty pie. He's going to try that and see what he thinks to it, and then and yeah, we might, if it's on the stick, we might review a couple of Scream TV episodes if they're on the stick. So yeah, but that's our review of this movie. I'll upload the hot dog reviews and this review when I'm at home, because the Wi-Fi here ain't great.
Doesn't seem like there's any new films coming out of September. It's all anniversaries.
Okay. So yeah. So that's all I've got to say really, and that's all what he's got to say. But just some movies, we have different tastes in some movies, and yeah, we agreed to disagree on this. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye for now, guys.
And let me